Hey everyone, Temporal here. For this session, we are reviewing a Grandmaster Hog player. I think it was a 4.2 game, and we are doing this on console. If you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, as that really does help me out, lets me keep doing this, etc. Or if you're looking to get coaching yourself, if you're looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, and through there you can see what my rates look like. You can join the community, all sorts of cool stuff. So let's take a look here. Reload immediately. Little slow on that, honestly. Yeah, I don't particularly like that hook. So the problem is there's a diva on the other team, and we see that there's a diva on the other team. Maybe you hadn't seen her quite when you started the throw, so we can be a little more forgiving of this one. But if there's a diva on the other team, and this diva is close enough to protect this Reaper with DM, even if you did hook them, you're really going to have trouble getting this. Like maybe if you'd hit this hook, he hadn't wraithed, you were going to turn and put him right here so that he couldn't really be DM'd. You were going to hook him and immediately flick it. I don't know that you can turn and flick him that fast on console, to be honest. My background is mostly PC, but if your plan was to hook him and put him right here with the hook, then potentially you've got something that can work here. Potentially your team could follow up on it and get the Reaper, etc. Your Briggs bash him, you get the finish, etc. My concern is exactly what did happen here, though, which is, hey, he can Wraith to dodge it. He can Wraith if he gets hooked in and doesn't get pushed here. He can Wraith even if he does get pushed here, but hey, at least you've made him spend Wraith. Or he gets DM'd here. So, like, there were too many outs for this. I don't think this was good. Most of your hooks are going to have to be when Diva is either very far away or on the Diva herself. That's just the unfortunate reality of playing Hog into Diva. Your hooks are generally going to have to be on Diva. Otherwise, the pink robot shows up and makes your hook kind of worthless. Okay? I don't love the purple breather, but you're so low health that you're trying to make sure you don't go down. He wants the damage reduction, is what I'm saying. At least I'm going to be generous and suggest he wants the damage reduction. Good, take the angle. You're waiting just a second for some more heals. I don't think you can afford to. And you go for the Diva this time. Good. Reaper, fine. Please look away from the Reaper. Minimize your head hitbox with take a breather. Look away from him. Good. Who are you throwing that at? It looked like you threw that at a Wraithing Reaper. Like, I'm gonna slow this down just cuz. Oh, did it go back to its 20-second rewind? That's unfortunate. Maybe that was a 5-second rewind. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. There's one. Shot, rather. Are you hooking the Fortified Orisa or the Wraithing Reaper? Because that's who your crosshair was over when you threw this hook. And the hook went, yeah, exactly, towards the Fortifying Orisa and the Wraithing Reaper. I think you're trying to maybe follow the Halt, and I get that, but you've had enough awareness to see what heroes were there. These heroes are not going to get caught. Halt is now way too small for those heroes to get caught. There was never anything here. This is wasting hook. That said, I'm more forgiving if you were following a call structure of, halting and you hook at it, and halting and you hook at it. That said, you could have done this better. Play to the left, play to the left. You don't need to give up, or you guys, why are you rotating? You don't need to rejoin your team here. Unless there's a call out that the opposing team is rotated over here, you can stay here and continue to threaten from this angle while your team threatens from this angle. That's preferable than you sort of walking back here to rejoin your team, etc. Your Hog, you have to take a breather. If they push you hard, you turn and walk away, and if they really push you hard, you pop a breather and walk back to your team. They're not going to take you down. Okay, so you're throwing your hook on the Halt, but the Halt hasn't been popped yet. No, you're not throwing your... I don't know. I mean, clearly you threw your hook out while a Halt was out, but I don't know if there was a call that was going out or what. Like, this Halt could have compromised your hook with what you were aiming at. Unfortunate. You threw that hook late. That's fine. You're gonna have a hook once Fortify's over. Good. I'd prefer that you try to do some turns on these. I know you're on console, so I don't think you can do the full 180 here, but you can at least like drag him to here or try to drag him to here to make it harder for him to get out. Increase the surface area of him that is available to your team. Like, yes, I know you can't do the 180, but even if you can only turn him that much, increase the surface area that's available to your team. And on PC, the way you do that is you throw the hook, and as soon as you've thrown the hook, you're basically going, okay, I am trying to, swing this, etc. And you should be able to do the same thing. Like the instant that hook is connected, you already want to be doing this because you want to place him here or here. You can't get him here, but you can probably get him at least here, maybe here, etc., which is better. And if I'm wrong, I apologize, console players. I do console reviews, but I haven't spent a ton of time playing the game on console myself. So I do have to count on some feedback from you guys. Good, you're throwing it at the Halt. Perfect. Okay, you're gonna immediately destroy this Nano. That was silly of them. Yep. You took a shot at him when he was clearly still Wraithed and you knew it. I don't know if you were predicting a Wraith end or what, but that Wraith wasn't gonna end there. So again, it sounds like there's comms in this game. Maybe there's not. Maybe you're just following the Halt, sort of. If there are comms in this game, my preference would be that you're playing over here, not with your team. It really does make you more threatening to them, and they really can't punish you very hard. The only reason you'd avoid playing over here is you're worried about them rotating here, but your team should be able to call that. So that's going to be up to you based on how the comms are going. That was a reach. Why are you looking towards him? Why are you looking towards him while you're... Okay, whatever. Like, you can't shoot while you're doing Take a Breather, and you know how long Take a Breather lasts. Tactical visor activated. Step right. Okay, not a big deal. Not a huge deal. We saw that slow reload to start. We saw some interesting hooks like, hey, there's a D.Va there. We saw, hey, you're hooking a Reaper while D.Va's there. We saw... What else did we see there? Just a second. We saw that you had the interesting timing on the hook when the Halt was about to go off, so that was early, but you had others that were following the Halt. So I don't know if you guys are communicating those or not. You certainly don't want to hook while the Halt's going out before the Halt is being called, because if you don't see it going off anyways, because your target can get yoinked away from where you were hooking, etc. So we'll watch that. But mostly the bigger thing was probably, hey, the off angle is pretty good. You should understand that you can retreat to your team pretty easily. I'd have liked to see more off angling for the control there, for the more danger to the other team, harder to press into you guys, etc. And that's, right at their door to the main entrance. Okay, you know their comp at this point. They are playing Hog Ball. That's fine, and they're playing with Widow Reaper and a Mercy.
The objective is now.
Good. Can these breathers... I don't mind the breather there, it's just directionally what you're doing. Good. Better. Nice. Yeah, see, you can do the turn thing. Why weren't you doing the turn thing earlier? Like, there's a bunch of hooks that you should have been doing deeper turns on. What? Why are they showing up now? Where were these the whole first round? Like, okay, now that those are on the table, yes, that was the thing I wanted most first round. Well, the off-angling I actually wanted more, but this was the thing I wanted second most. Okay. Move with that. Oh, too far. Again, why would you... Okay, why are you letting him out? Like, you can put him there, you can try to put him here, though it might force you out a little bit. Like, ugh. It's fine. It was a low well, it was a medium probability hook, but you lose nothing by not having hook up right now. The opportunity cost of that was low.
Watch and learn.
Yeah, this was always gonna happen. Well done. Can you put him here, and your team helps you destroy him? You try to put him here. You try to put him here. You don't just let him stay right here, because it's still just you fighting him, and your team can't really see him. You've kept him around the corner from your team, so your team is like, well, there's a corner in the way. We can't see him. We can't help you. Like, it's fine.
Step right up.
I'm taking the point. Yes. Bank, taking control of the objective.
I'm taking care of you.
I don't love having all of you on this angle, but at least your Orisa is over there. Good. If you want to stay there while your team goes, I don't love it. Okay. Good job taking advantage of his reload. Don't overcheck the ball. No. Like, I never really wanted you to give up this spot. When your team left, it was like, yes, please hold this spot. And when you did, the Reaper comes through, etc. Like, it was nice that she got the shot on the Hog here, but, like, I really did want this to be the spot you continued to control. It is about controlling the off angles, etc. You're not in some, like, shield war where it's like, oh, I'm going to, you know, you're not in any sort of shield war. You're not super concerned about that ball because that ball doesn't have meaningful follow-up other than knocking people up for the Widow to hit or knocking people away for the Widow to hit. to hit, and yes, that's concerning, but you still need to get your map control. You guys need to spread out and control your angles, and this was a good spot for you. Much better than going over here to look at the ball, being back here with your team, etc. This is where we want you to stay.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
Okay.
Hold up now.
I'd actually like you to... whatever. Good. Don't give up the map control. Why are you giving up the map control? Oh, because you're worried about the... No, you're about to win this. You don't need to give up the map control. This was the way for you to continue going. Don't collapse in and give up the map control when you have it. You don't need to clean up what's here first. You can continue after these guys, which, you know, your McCree got, or your soldier, I guess, got the Anna, so it's okay, but you don't need to be here yet. You deal with the ball last. You deal with the ball last if he's, you know, trying to stall point like that. You can deal with the ball first if he goes in before his team is ready, without his team, etc., in a position where his team isn't spraying into you guys, etc. But there we go. Okay, so you guys got the win. That's nice. What I'm going to say here is your biggest areas for improvement are you are still lacking some understanding of when you're running hog like this, most of the time you are looking for map control. That doesn't mean you always have to go on the deep super flanks, end up in their backline, etc. But you do at least want to be controlling, hey, I have this different angle. On Mecha Base, that was, hey, your Orissa's on one side of the little thing in front of the door, you're on the other, and you can retreat back to your team pretty easy. Here, that could be, you're here while your Orissa's on point, or your Orissa's here while you're here type thing, or, you know, you're here while your Orissa's here while your soldier is over here type thing. Like, don't give up the map control, and when the map control lets you deepen your angle like it did here, great, please take it. Don't go give up your angle, etc. Yes, there are some situations in which you go, hey, I'm going to play with my team, I'm going to protect my team from, you know, things that are happening, like balls that are coming in, etc., etc., but that's not really a super big concern here. Honestly, most of the time, having more better angles is going to help you out more in terms of what you're doing. It's going to be, hey, it's much harder for them to do anything. They can't really get work done. We have the map control. They can't take angles. They can't take angles means they can't compromise our cover, means they can't get around, etc. So please look to do that. You have the kit that you do with Take a Breather because it allows you to stay a little bit away from your team. And again, it doesn't have to be like deep flanks, etc. It can be, I'm just holding an angle. My supports can still see me. I can still see my team. If ball goes for a pile drive on my team back there, it's still very easy for me to take a step forward and hook him during a very predictable pile drive, etc. So I'm still offering them protection, but I have this control. The other thing is, this map, we're taking some advantage of your ability to turn people, but I want you more consistently taking advantage of your ability to turn people when you hook them. Put them in places where your team can contribute, take them down, etc. Put them in places where your team can contribute, etc. I still doubt that you can do 180s just because of what the sensitivity with a joystick is, but you can do, it clearly shows, you can do 90-degree turns, and 90-degree turns are enough to make it harder for them to get out, to make it easier for your team to take shots at them, to put yourself in a place where you're potentially, you in the cover are potentially blocking Ana heals from going into a target that you've hooked, etc. To block DM from getting it. Well, okay, you don't block DM, but the wall blocks DM, etc. So please look to do more of those two things. Pick those things. Really, the map control is going to be the bigger, more conceptual thing for you to understand. It'll help you on other heroes. It'll help you understand the game better, play a bit better. So spend 10, 15 games really trying to get an understanding of that. And then after that, you can work on more consistently putting people where you want to with hooks as opposed to just pulling them into your face like I believe you did on this one. Okay. Did he miss the ball? When was that? I think he did miss a hook on the ball once, but not a big deal. Okay, if you guys are enjoying the content, please do like and subscribe, or if you are looking to get coaching yourself, you can join my Discord in the description below, and in there you can see my rates, you can join the community, see any sort of promos we have going on, cool stuff like that. And I think that's going to be it for this morning. I'm going to go do some other things. So I'll see you tonight. Thanks, guys. Temporal out.